today's interview, I want to remind you of a high-value lesson from last week's interview with Chris Ferrer, in case you missed it. Chris repeatedly mentioned doctors and chiropractor referrals that were triggered by Chris's social videos. Now, I suspect some of those referral relationships were established offline, but Chris's active social presence helps nurture those relationships and keep him top of mind with doctors and chiros who follow him. Remember that social media delivers a variety of benefits, including direct ones like lead generation and referral source generation and nurturing, and indirect ones like distinguishing you from your competition and building a rapport with your prospective clients. Okay, turning to today's session, my interview with solo Florida general practitioner who has an estate planning and contract focus. He was the first lawyer ever to appear on TikTok and now has an incredible 2.2 million followers. Once you watch just a few of his highly entertaining videos, you'll see why he's so successful. He does everything himself, from topic selection through shooting and editing. Let's get started. Okay, let's get right to it like we always do. Today, our special guest is attorney Anthony Barbuto. Anthony is the owner of a general practice based in Florida. Anthony is a social media pioneer in the legal industry. He has more than 2.2 million followers on TikTok. We're very excited to have him here today. Welcome, Anthony. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Kara.
Yeah, I'm excited to dive in. So to start, though, Anthony, tell us a little bit about your story and your journey as a lawyer.
Well, I passed the California bar exam in 2006. Then while I was waiting for my results, it's like such a long period, I decided to take the New Jersey bar. And then after that, I took the Florida bar. So and I just stayed in Florida. And I started practicing at an insurance defense law firm for my first year in Fort Lauderdale. And then after that, I took over a general practice in Wellington, Florida, and where I've been since 2008.
So initially, kind of pre-social media, how were you generating clients early on? How were clients finding you? Was it primarily word of mouth, or tell us about that?
Well, I took over a law firm from a lady who was retiring. She was in her late 70s, and she was one of the first lawyers, the first lawyer in Wellington. And so she retired. I took over her practice, and so I had some clients through that, through that relationship. But then I just continued building my firm ever since.
What type of matters are you primarily handling now, Anthony?
I do a good portion of my work is estate planning and wills and trust administration, and then I do some litigation, and I do a lot of work in the equestrian community. Wellington, Florida is unique because it's known as the equestrian capital of the world. Equestrians, including polo players and hunters and jumpers and dressage, they come here for maybe 4 to 5 months per year. And so it has a very good reputation, and we have a lot of equestrian activities going on that require legal work.
So it sounds like, are you kind of part of that community? Is that how you are attracting those clients? Or?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's great. How big is your team? Do you have support staff, or what does the team look like?
Well, the team consists of only one lawyer, and that's me. And then I have 2 assistants. I have a paralegal and a legal secretary.
Oh, great. So in general, let's get into the social media, right? Let's talk about social media. You really have become a leading voice there. You're a TikTok star. Like I mentioned, you have 2.2 million followers. You have nearly 50 million likes. That's crazy. You're at The Lawyer. I'm not sure there could be a better handle on TikTok, at The Lawyer. And I know you were one of the real pioneers. I believe you started on TikTok, was it in 2018, really early on? Tell us about that start. How did you start on TikTok?
Well, I started on TikTok because I thought it was very entertaining. And initially it had nothing to do with trying to generate business for my law practice. It was a lot of fun at the time. It was filled with trends. I was the first lawyer on TikTok. I think also the first professional on TikTok. And I became popular very quickly on there because I was unique for someone my age at the time in 2018 and someone in my profession. Yeah.
What were you doing? What were those topics? Tell us a little bit about the topics that really
You
caught fire.
know,
Yeah.
sure. It was like, and the videos are still on my TikTok today. It was, TikTok was just filled with trends, various trends to songs or certain dances and things like that. So it wasn't serious. It was all parody at the time, and for people to see a lawyer dressed in a suit, being human, having a sense of humor, then that was what was attractive to a lot of people.
So early on, you were just sort of being consistent, consistently posting entertaining, trending videos, and that's kind of when you saw the
Yeah,
increase. Yeah, yeah, that's great. Uh,
yeah, that's correct.
yeah. So take us through your current process. Where do you find inspiration for new video topics now?
Well, I've expanded very much. I started on social media actually before TikTok on my blog called ItalianEnthusiast.com. And I'm known on Instagram and Facebook as Italian Enthusiast, and I have a following on those channels. I was going to be the Italian Enthusiast on TikTok, but it was too many letters.
Yeah.
So I needed to think of something else, and I thought of the lawyer, and it was available, and it worked, and I'm happy it worked out that way. So I wear different hats on social media. First is because I'm very passionate about authentic Italian culture. I spend a lot of time in Italy throughout the year. We summer in Italy, my kids and my wife and I, and so I like to blog and vlog about authentic Italian culture, teaching American people about that. And then I have, of course, TikTok, where I am the lawyer and I have a comedic approach to social media. And then I work on my family vlog, where I include my wife and my children on our YouTube channel. And that is just really family experiences of traveling, and we do some trends on there and just different entertaining things. So that's kind of the evolution of my social media. You can see that none of that is call me, I'm a lawyer, none of that. It's more of just me doing what I enjoy, me being human, and hoping that my messages and my videos have some impact, positive impact for people.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've struck such an important balance that you just described between, family and hobbies, and certainly, also sharing some, some legal specific advice. But the I think the key is you're not, only talking about estate planning, or, you're really kind of this legal advisor. So how do you decide, like, okay, I'm not gonna, I can't help people all over the country or all over the world, but I'm still kind of putting out content that's broad enough and interesting enough. How did you kind of find that balance, I guess, is my question.
Well, I find inspiration from maybe watching other trends and watching other videos, and that's time consuming. So I have to balance also the fact that I am a lawyer and I do have a busy practice here, and so I can't kind of stray too much from it. But in my defense, I don't play golf. I don't do a lot of things that other lawyers do, so I do have some time to find inspiration on social media.
Mhm.
So when I do that, if I feel that there's a video that's appropriate for my personality, I'll try to do it, whether it's comedic or involving family or Italian stuff. I can do that.
Are you typically shooting videos in batches? How often are you shooting?
Well, I just came back from Italy for 5 weeks, and I was shooting a lot because I was, you know, all over the place doing, going to the shoemaker. And so I did a short about going to an Italian shoemaker. That a lot of people like that, or going to how a cappuccino is properly made in Florence. And I introduced the barista. So there's I find inspiration when I travel, and I filmed a lot. Now that I'm home, it's not going to be as frequent, but if I find something, I'll bring my secretaries. Everybody loves my secretaries on social media. In fact, the videos go viral not because of me, but because of their reaction to me.
Yeah.
If I find something, I'll pull them in and I'll do a video, and that could do well.
I do love that dynamic. Actually, one of my favorite videos of yours that I've seen, and one of probably the most creative social videos on any lawyer's social media, is where you're pretending to film, to shoot a TV ad, a commercial, and you have your staff behind you, and you are you you're describing things that aren't quite exactly true. You know, you're in the office first, you're in the office last, and they're kind of like their reactions. It's really interesting. It's really authentic, and it seems like it's really like that's the style, that's the tone that you're hitting that seems to be
Yeah.
resonating. Yeah.
I think I don't remember how many views that got. I think that got that got 9 million views
Oh my gosh.
on TikTok, but
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Memeczar took that video,
Oh,
and I think they got like 40 million views or something. That was a successful video. That was the first take too. I didn't even spend much time on that video at all. In fact, I did a YouTube video about, I think I was at court that morning. I said, hey guys, I'm going to do a video later. I'm going to take you through how a professional does the video. I did the whole YouTube video about it. You can see it being filmed. It was the first take.
oh, cool.
The Florida bar recognized that and put that on their Facebook page. So yeah, that was a successful video.
It was really smart. I really liked it. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any help, or is it just you pulling out your camera? What kind of equipment are you using?
Yeah, you know, it's I personally just use my phone. I did have a camera that I thought, because you know it was $1,000 and then it was, you know, looked professional, but at the end of the day, like, I just use my phone for everything. I stopped using the camera.
Isn't that interesting how, yeah, I think that can sometimes be a hurdle. Well, I don't have the right equipment. Well, you know, it needs to be high production value when actually, you know, it seems quite
I
daunting.
do all my YouTube videos with my phone, and there's a whole bunch of apps now that I use. InShot is one of the apps, and I take the videos. If I'm going to shoot off TikTok, like if I shoot on TikTok, that's one thing. I can edit it there. But if I'm shooting off of TikTok, I can upload it to like InShot or just some other apps. I can edit it. Um, there's a lot of things that other lawyers can learn, but they don't have to learn all of this yet. You can just film everything on TikTok or
Yeah.
Instagram or YouTube or something.
Yeah. How much time would you say per week are you spending on social media, posting, engaging, shooting?
You know, it depends on my work schedule. You know, for YouTube, I spend I could spend, you know, like 4 hours a week, usually on the weekend, because what I have to do is I have to organize the videos. I have to send it to the editor. I have to look and see what the editor did. I have to let the editor know what revisions to make. I need to upload it. You know, it is social media is time consuming. My issue is that there's a lot of companies out there, marketing companies, saying, I just got off the phone like 2 hours ago with one from California. She called me and she's like, we'll send someone to your office once a month to take, you know, videos of you. Like, I I think it's best if people want to do social media, they should do it themselves. That's the best way that they should do it. Nobody's going to do it right. You got to learn a little bit. The lawyers out there, they should learn how to do it. If they don't enjoy it and they don't have a passion for it, forget the whole thing.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, you can hire someone, they'll get some videos out there, what, a few a week.
Mhm.
I mean, if lawyers want to have a presence on social media, they need to devote a lot of time to it.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm interested by that point because there's more to social media than simply posting videos, right? I mean, you know, just you post those videos, okay, but you know, you do have to engage and be an actual, you know, active participant in order to really see that growth, right? What do you say? Why is it worth your time? Let's talk about, you know, how it kind of relates to your business and the kind of response that you get on social media.
It's worth it to me because one, I enjoy social media. Okay. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it. Okay. Um, when I have viral videos on TikTok in my silly way doing the videos, I get a lot of responses that are extraordinarily positive, that and they're inspired to be lawyers. Uh, there's a lot of people that say, I wish I had a dad like you. Like I get a zillions of those comments because there's a lot of young kids that, you know, don't have like a male figure that is just laid back and cool and has good personality. And I have a lot of TikToks with my children on there. So, I've appeared for universities, or not universities, for high schools, talking to the students about the practice of law. So I do have that element where I can inspire. I inspire a lot of young people to be lawyers.
Yeah.
That's positive.
Very positive. Absolutely. I mean, it's increasing magnifying your exposure, right? Before this interview, we talked about how it's a little bit difficult for you to really quantify, X number of leads or X number of clients, that you're generating through social media. But do you have a sense of, are you getting messages or comments, from people saying, I could use your help, or, they're mentioning that they've seen you on TikTok, that kind of thing, I assume, yeah?
Sure. I mean, they'll just call up and schedule if they're local people. I mean, I get a lot of messages from non-local people, and I really can't help them. But I have so many people come in, and while I'm doing a consultation, they'll say, "By the way, I love your videos. By the way, I love your TikToks. By the way, I love your YouTube stuff. You have a beautiful family." Like, so they see it, they see my personality, they come in, they don't say I'm here because of that, but they do acknowledge that they watch my videos. My existing clients watch my videos. So I don't know, like I don't have an intake form saying who referred you. I mean, if they want to volunteer that information, fine. But again, I'm a small practice here. I mean, I've been busy before I started social media. I'm busy now. It's
Right.
I enjoy being myself on social media, and I enjoy the positive influence and impact that I can have on people. And if it leads to a bit more business, which is really secondary, I mean, it's nice, but it's really secondary. That's fantastic.
Well, I think that approach actually really comes across in the content that you create, right? It's very clear that you're passionate and you enjoy what you're doing and you're sharing these passions, with everyone. Then by the time a client is meeting with you, there's that trust, right? There's that familiarity, there's that, rapport that has actually been, building virtually. They've been watching your videos, they feel like, they know you a bit, yeah?
No, I think that my personality is my main asset to my business. And if I have to refer a client to some other attorney that specializes in something that I don't really do, like one of my, like what I always say to them is find 3 of them, meet with them, and make sure you go with the person whose personality goes best with your personality. Because there's so many lawyers out there that they may be very qualified, but their personalities, it's like working with like a robot or something, or someone that you can't relate to. Like I don't want to have that relationship with my lawyer. If I need a lawyer, I don't want to have that relationship. I want to have a good relationship with my lawyer. So I always tell people, make sure you get to know their personality first and foremost.
Yep, absolutely. There needs to be
And when I see other lawyers on social media, like you sent me that you interviewed that guy, Mike Morse, right? Mike Morse. I saw him on, he seemed like a really cool guy. I've communicated with him a few times, and the videos that I've seen, you could see that he's at that personality. Also the Hammer, I've seen him on there. I think that we follow each other. He's got a cool personality. Like those guys are showing their personality. I think that's what's important for lawyers, to show their personality, not to say, not to give legal advice on which I don't even think is allowed anyway in a lot of states, but not to say, call this number if you have a slip and fall, that stuff is
right.
big.
Right. So to that point, what do you say to an attorney who might be a little bit nervous to get in front of the camera? They're interested, they see the opportunity, they want to do it. It seems like you
That's
may
a problem. That's a problem. I have lawyers write to me and say that I love your stuff and I'm nervous. I work for a firm and I don't know how to do it. Like I do have lawyers call me about that. That's an issue because if you're working for the government or if you're working for a big firm, you have to be careful because a lot of these older lawyers, they don't understand social media. And if you do something that is outside of like this boring lawyer kind of personality, then they're not going to understand it, and people are afraid that it's going to jeopardize their job and stuff. And that's an issue for people. I have my own practice. I don't have to worry about that. I don't care if there's someone out there that doesn't come to me because they think that I have a silly video and that's unprofessional. I don't care. I don't want them for a client, you know? So, that is an issue. So my thing is, for any lawyer, if you like social media, just to start small. Like I did, I started small. I started just doing Italian enthusiast stuff. I started reporting about authentic Italian culture. So get your feet wet. If you have a certain hobby, there's this one lawyer, he likes bicycles. He wrote me, he's a bicyclist. I said, all right, that's a good hobby, you know, start doing that. You attract a nice fan base from that. So they have to start small. And if you start small, you'll be more comfortable doing a little bit more and a little bit more. And after like 3 years of that, you'll have a nice little fan base that likes you for you. And then you'll have more courage to go a little bit more and a little bit more.
That's great advice. I love that. You are always providing helpful information, advice. I know you have even some, free guides and legal forms and things like that. Why do you kind of take that educational first approach? And how has that kind of served you in your business?
Well, I try to, first of all, I try to be helpful with everyone. All my clients have my cell phone number. If I have a client call me 3 o'clock in the morning and I actually hear the phone, I mean, I'll answer it. I'm not, there are times that I've referred clients to lawyers. You can't even get a lawyer on the phone. Like, I am so informal in my practice. If I can be helpful to someone on the phone that I don't know, that's not going to really take so much of my time. Like, I don't mind being helpful to people without charging them. For example, if somebody has a quick question, it's 5 minutes and I'm driving, it's no issue. So I'm happy to help as many people as I can, talk to people. Of course, I have to abide by my ethical rules and not provide legal advice to people outside of the states where I'm licensed. And of course, I follow all that stuff. But I try to help as many people as I can.
Well, I think that really, in a way, it might seem like common sense to you, but I think that really distinguishes yourself in a lot of ways because, sometimes the attorneys I talk to, they're really hung up on, well, if I give too much free advice, they won't need me anymore, that kind of thing, where I think it's a bit of an opposite. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I can do it. I have a small, it's just me here in my firm. I am blessed in that I have wonderful clients. I have a supportive family. I have friends. I don't have my own airplane like some of these lawyers. I'm not like, I don't consider myself a rich lawyer, but I'm rich in my quality of life. And I'm happy just to help as many people as I can. And I don't behave like your example.
Yeah, I love that abundance approach for sure. What about other marketing? Are you investing in any other marketing now? Have you in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I spend about $4,500 a year on marketing, and it's for two things. One is I advertise with my children's elementary school, and that's $2,000 a year. Okay, and I don't do that to generate business. I do that to support my children. Okay, and then the other one is a magazine that I've been in probably about 10 years, and I just maintain that. And that's one of the most popular magazines here in Wellington, Florida. So I just do that. But aside from that, most of my business is word of mouth, and also when people are local and they find me on social media, I get business that way.
Yep. Yep. So no kind of traditional digital marketing, SEO, PPC, anything like that?
No.
No, that's great. That's great. Uh,
The thing is, like, I've spoken with a lot of those people. Like, I don't know enough about it, and I've had Zoom calls and PowerPoint presentations. I feel like with social media, nobody's going to do it as good as me.
right.
So that's why I just kind of, I don't bother with that.
Yep. Yep. That's smart. Are you putting any money into boosting your posts on any platforms? Have you done that?
I have never spent one penny on TikTok with
Wow.
boosting. My
Wow.
concern with that is, and I've just heard, which is all hearsay, but I don't know how that's impacting your organic growth if you start putting money on TikTok. I have no idea if it does or it doesn't. So I just have never done that. On Facebook, I have in the past to boost like things that I thought would be interesting to other Italian enthusiasts, but not on TikTok.
Well, it doesn't seem like you need it. Your organic growth is pretty
Yeah.
explosive. Yeah. What about referring? We talked a little bit about this, but you're receiving requests and inquiries from people around the country. Are you regularly referring those people out, or are you more just kind of a helpful hand in those situations?
I think that I have in a few occasions. I think that there was a employment law matter in California that I referred out. But a lot of times, like I'm really so busy. Like if I get these messages and I have to call them and I have to help them find someone or answer questions, sometimes it's going to be too time consuming for me. If it's something that maybe I have something in my mind that I have someone to direct them to, then yeah, I can do that. But oftentimes I don't.
Sure. Are you on Threads at all? Have you gotten
I'm
on?
not on Threads. I heard about it. I think I put it on my. I don't know too much about Threads.
I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
curious. Yeah.
yeah.
Are you using AI in your practice, either for marketing or daily work?
No,
Well,
I used it one time to write my son's kindergarten teacher a thank you note, and it was a fantastic thank you note, by the way.
that's
But
excellent.
that's the only that's the
That's
only
an
time I used it.
excellent use case. I love it. What about any tools or software you use just in general that you would recommend?
For social media.
Really for anything, you social, even in your practice, anything that would be helpful to other attorneys, maybe?
Um, I use my case, the my case software. That's a platform for lawyers for storing your documents and things like that. Um, but that's right. QuickBooks, we use here.
Yeah.
You know.
What about any mistakes? What would you say your biggest mistakes are, or lessons learned in growing your firm?
With social media,
Sure. Yeah.
um, it's the issue with it is you have to keep consistent. And um, on TikTok, for example, there have been times like 2 months I haven't posted, and that's not good for the channel. But the thing is like being a lawyer and being busy, it is time consuming. So and it's not just TikTok that I do. Like I have to deal with YouTube, and I deal with Facebook, and I have to deal with my blog, and on YouTube I have 5 different channels, and I'm helping I'm getting my kids involved. So it's time consuming. So if you can get some help, that's if you can get someone in the office, like I see that guy, the hammer, I see that he has someone helping him all the time. That's really invaluable. If you can find someone like in your law firm that knows about social media, that's good with it, that could spend 2 hours finding a cool trend or a handful of trends that you can do. Like if you can have someone do that, that will be helpful. So if there's any regrets, is that maybe I could have found some help in the past to keep the trends going, so you don't kind of have those gaps.
Right. I mean, I think sometimes the topic ideas, I mean, that can be the most time-consuming part in some cases, right? Is finding those trends, latching onto those trends, but just understanding kind of what will resonate and be worth your time to shoot a video. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there could be a trend, but it's not appropriate for my personality. But so you have to put some trends aside, but other trends is perfect. Like that video I did that we talked about a little while ago. That was good for a lawyer. There was opportunity for humor in a law firm for that video, so I had to jump on that one.
Yeah, that was really good.
Then also, there's another thing is that you may find other trends that are perfect, but you need other people. You need actors. You
Mm.
need paralegals to be with you. You need someone. As a judge, maybe you need a courtroom setting. There's a lot of things, and it's kind of like you're the director of your own movie. You're the director of your own TikTok video that you have to create a scene to have the best response to it.
I'm just curious personally, did you do any film or TV or even video before this? Because you're just so comfortable and confident in front of the camera.
I mean, like, I was, as a kid, doing acting classes and theater and things like that. And, I was a literature major in school. So I don't, I mean, I've never done professional acting or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Directing. Another thing I'd like to add too, though,
Yes, please.
is through my practice, I have the opportunity to represent a number of influencers and very, very popular influencers. And they found me, of course, on TikTok. And I see that these kids have such opportunity that they're making more money than lawyers make. And so, this is also a motivation for me is to get my children who are 6 and 5, and my wife is pregnant, to get
Congratulations.
them on social media at a very young age. So when they are 16, they have a massive following because they will have opportunities that we never had when we were that age, and the opportunities that pay very well just to do enjoyable videos. I mean, I don't know what job is better than paying that kind of money, just doing stuff that's fun, videos that are fun, not having to talk to a boss. And this is what these influencers are doing. They're doing stuff with their friends, they're doing trendy videos, they're doing funny YouTube videos, and they have this following because they started young. So I see the opportunities. A lot of these parents or my clients say, "Oh, I would never put my kids on social media." Like I get the argument and everything, but I'm comfortable with it. With my kids, and I see that there are more pros than cons.
Yeah, and I think you do it in a very, I mean, incredibly tasteful way, right? I mean, it's very clear that everyone is enjoying enjoying themselves, which is pretty cool. I noticed that you offer a TikTok for Professionals course, or is that something you're developing?
Yeah, I had it on my website, and I wanted to do it, and I could still do it. The problem is, okay, I mean, I would love to do it today, okay, but I have to finish 4 contracts. I have 2 hearings next week. I have a mediation. It's just me and the firm. It's like
Sure.
I just got back from Italy, so it's always like this with me. To do that video, I'd have to sit down. I have to prepare all the narrative, and I'd have to film it, and it's gonna be time consuming. So that's my issue. It's that how to handle the time. And remember, I have children. I'm a dad. I'm moving houses. So like anyone, you got to find the time, and I could do it because I don't play golf. Lawyers spend how many hours lawyers spend on the golf course?
Yeah,
They travel all around. They're on the golf course. I don't get it. They're on the golf course 8 hours a day. Like that's even more time than you need for social media.
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. So, Anthony, before we wrap up, I always like to ask if a lawyer watching only has time to adopt one, maybe two of your tips, what would you recommend?
Find an area on social media that you enjoy. Okay, if you enjoy, you know, dog shows. And I say this because on the airplane 2 days ago, I watched the Best in Show, coming home.
Great,
If
great.
that's your thing, then incorporate that in your social media because I've never seen it on my For You page, but I'm sure that there are many influencers out there, whatever, that do that. So find an area that you enjoy, whatever it is, and start making videos about it. Watch the videos first and then try to start doing some videos for yourself. You can put them on private at first until you get comfortable. Okay. So find an area that you enjoy, be passionate about it. Okay. And then just be consistent. Just keep doing it.
Excellent. I
Yeah.
love
Don't stop. Just don't stop doing it.
I love that. Be consistent, keep doing it, but find your niche. Find what you're comfortable and confident and passionate about and what brings you joy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to improve your quality of life. It's going to give you meaning, and it's going to help you with dealing with the stresses of life. Okay. Because do I like filing a lawsuit against someone? No, I don't like doing that. But I do like doing videos about cappuccino. I do like doing videos with my office and having some good laughs.
Yeah. Well, that certainly, shines through in your videos. So it was a real pleasure, Anthony. Thank you so much for sharing your experience. It was a joy and you were very generous. Thank you.
Thank you, Kara. It's a pleasure.
This was a really fun one, right? Here are the primary takeaways I see from Anthony's interview. Number one, having fun with your social videos is a winning approach. The best videos are both educational and entertaining, but if you can only deliver one of those attributes and you have the right personality for it, entertaining beats educating. Number two, being early helps. You can no longer be an early lawyer adopter on Instagram or on TikTok, but you can still, with Facebook's new ex-competitor Threads, take a look at Threads, see if it could be a fit. Number three, being successful on social media has brought Anthony a whole new category of clients. He wouldn't be representing multiple influencers if he did not have a large and charismatic TikTok presence, right? That's a niche he may be able to expand as his influencer clients refer Anthony to other influencers. Number four, I actually see an overlooked opportunity for Anthony. He should follow the lead of popular estates influencer Jerry Taylor, who was also a guest on my show. And maybe Anthony doesn't want to charge for consultations or publish a digital newsletter like Jerry does, but with Anthony's large following, the revenue he could receive from referring out-of-state work to a pre-established network of competent and caring lawyers really will pay for that admin help required, right? While leaving a healthy profit for Anthony. Many of my past guests have done this exactly, and I think Anthony could do it too. And number five, lastly, obtain help. Social media is no different than any other area important to the success of your firm. If it requires more work than you have hours, delegate, outsource portions of it. Anthony appears to have recognized that. Getting some help with his social media would be beneficial. If you actually feel the same way as Anthony, know that we at James Publishing have a marketing amplifier program where we shoot over 100 social media videos every single week for lawyers. We know what works. If you're interested, set an appointment with me to learn more. I hope my interview with Anthony has been helpful. Join us next week. My interview next Wednesday is with SoCal injury lawyer who is growing 70% annually. He attributes that growth to one, lifting the minimum case value he accepts, two, annually sending gifts to his past clients, and three, maintaining an active presence on multiple social platforms. I hope you'll join us. See you then. Keep marketing. Bye-bye.